Hey everybody, it's Steve, back with another season review. The past 2 seasons I did creative team building challenges which involved never reusing moves, then never reusing Terra types or items. In both of those seasons I finished top of the division, only to lose in the first round of the playoffs. In my opinion, I drafted 2 of the best teams in the league in both seasons, and the quality of the team is really what allowed me to succeed despite the challenges. So with moves, items, and Terra types out of the way, there's really only one way to finish out this series of team building challenges. No reusing abilities. Now, in the past, I only eliminated moves and items from play if they were actually used, revealed, or had an effect. So I know what you're thinking. Steve, just draft Iron Hands again, it never uses its ability anyway. And I agree, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Draft a bunch of strong or utility mons who have abilities that rarely, if ever, have any impact, so I can bring them all season. Things like the aforementioned Iron Hands, Florges, Pachirisu, Salazzle, Pawmot, Non-Sun Jumpluff, and more. Had we done our normal 7-week season, this is probably the avenue I would have gone down. However, we are doing a short 5-week season to flow quicker into the DLC format, so I decided that if a Pokemon comes to a game in the set of 4, regardless of if its ability does anything or not, it can't come with that ability ever again. And in the spirit of the smaller season, disallowed trades. Trades would be necessary in a longer season, but in the shorter season we make do with the draft. Here's some math. Assuming you brought the same 4 mons to every game in a series, after 5 weeks you would have used 20 abilities, which is equivalent to 6 2/3 Pokemon with 3 abilities. In a normal 7-week season, that goes up to 28 abilities, which is 9 1/3 Pokemon. So, best case scenario, if I only use 4 mons in each series, I wouldn't even have enough Pokemon available to get to the semifinals. These numbers also get worse if I use more than 4 in the same series. So winning was never really the goal, I just wanted to have some fun. Made the early decision to only draft mons with 3 abilities. So let's take a look at the top of the draft board to see what's available to me. Boy, that sucks. There were 3 mons I wanted first, Como-O being my first option, with Kingambit and Annihilate as backups. In hindsight, I wish I had prioritized Ape over King, as it would allow me to grab Mousehold to give me a powerful pair I could bring to 3 weeks regardless of their abilities. Instead, I was outbid for Como-O in round 1, and got my backup pick of Kingambit. The King has 1 amazing ability in Defiant, decent backup in Supreme Overlord, and the very niche Pressure. Following up that, Kilowattrel is a very fast mon with 3 great abilities in Wind Power, Competitive, and Volt Absorb. One thing I did not account for was having too many Intimidate deterrents, which would be bad for Defiant Kingambit, but that really only matters for 1 week. Next we went to Value Town. As mentioned before, I still wanted a mon that would be valuable despite its abilities. I went very low and grabbed Ambipom, who normally would only run Technician. However, when I'm bringing it for Fake Out and Quick Guard most of the time, Skill Link and Pickup don't really change too much. Plus, I can run Flings Rock with Pickup. I grabbed Chandelure next, which I thought was underpriced, and gives me a very powerful special attacker, both in Tailwind and in Trick Room. Once again, 3 great abilities in Flame Body, Flash Fire, and Infiltrator, plus my first Trick Room setter to pair with Kingambit. Gothorita is a second Trick Room setter, one of the best Eviolite mons, and a great support with moves like Fake Out, Screens, and Heal Pulse. 2 fantastic abilities in Frisk and Shadow Tag with the much more niche Competitive. Round 6, I grabbed the always overperforming Tauros Water form. Obviously, Intimidate is its best ability, but Cudchew is very usable. Anger Point has a single use case, which we will get to later. I had a lot of hope for Venomoth, which in theory would always be useful with Rage Powder and Shield Dust, and somewhat threatening with Quiver Dance and Tinted Lens. Wonder Skin as a third ability had the potential to be very annoying. Appleton is a very bulky mon, with 2 abilities focused on berries, and a third great defensive ability that limits its weaknesses. It's another reasonable Trick Room attacker, and has 2 decent attacking stats. Now we get to the Tauros partner, Snowrunt. Frost Breath enables Anger Point, and Snowrunt was 4 points cheaper than Glalie, who I didn't see much value in. Moody and Eviolite has the potential to be annoying, and with multiple snow teams running around, Ice Body even had a niche case. Next, I got Sandaconda, which gave me Anti-Weather in Sandspit, Anti-Status in Shed Skin, and Hacks with Glare, Sandveil, and Rockslide. It's also a decent setup mon with Coil. Finally, I paired that Sandaconda with Probopass. It makes for a low-cost support with Sturdy or Magnet Pull alongside Wide Guard, and compare its Sand Force with Sandaconda's Sandspit for surprising damage. In order to limit the number of mons I brought, I made the decision to only bring the same 4 mons to the set if I won Game 1. In theory, this would allow me to build more effectively going forward in the season. This of course led to some weird scenarios, like Game 1 Week 1, where I won with a good Terra and surprise item choices, but quickly realized my Gothorita was useless. However, I didn't want to waste Defiant Kingambit when it wouldn't get activated, and Kilowattrel was less useful when Iron Jugulus didn't come. So I lose the series 1-2, and I start off 0-1, and lose these abilities. Week 2 against Miss Mag, I once again won Game 1 and brought the same 4 mons the rest of the time. This time though, I realized a mistake in my gameplay and made the call to commit to Ghost Kingambit, which secured the late game Guillotine win against Iron Defense Body Press Goodrum. 4 more abilities down. Against Jay in Week 3, I felt I had an absolutely terrible matchup. I decided to bust out the Anger Point cheese, and though it didn't get off, I had a decent shot at winning but made some bad decisions. I lost 2-0 and for the first time used 5 abilities. This week also meant I lost Tauros for the rest of the season, who was our kill leader up until now. Week 4 was a rematch from last season's playoffs with Camo. I thought I had a good matchup this time and tried to actually make Skill Link Ambipom work. It didn't. The offensive Venomoth worked wonders though, with Tinted Lens and Quiver Dance. I won 2-1 and lost 5 more abilities. Now, Kingambit, Venomoth, and Ambipom can also no longer be played. Last week of the regular season was against Heaven, who I haven't played since I had the Shedinja team. The winner makes it to the playoffs. I effectively only have a team of 7 mons, which makes my choices somewhat easier. If he has been paying attention to my games, I'm probably screwed. I leave Snowrunt on the bench, because of course I do. With some good luck through Sandveil and Air/Flinches, I take the win 2-0 and move to the playoffs. For round 1, I get picked by Purple Rain, who has another one of my favorite teams, with a good rain mode and a Perish Trap. Luckily, 4 of the mons I'd bring to this match anyway are still available. Swap out Probopass and Goth for Kingambit and Tauros and we would have been feeling much better. Unfortunately, a thrown Game 1 and bad game plan Game 2 lead to me losing 2-0 and out of the playoffs round 1 once again. That's it for this season's challenge. I think my team concepts for the move and item challenges were much stronger, but this challenge really limits you more than the others. I think I should have looked into some other mons more seriously, like Grimmsnarl or Dragapult. What do you think? How would you build a team for this challenge? Are the rules too strict? Let me know. Peace.